the mystery became merely a matter of rudimentary logic, easily constructed from the newspapers.
But totally dissimilar to the murders in the Rue Morgue. Dissimilar in construct, dissimilar in the approach.
Oh no, not at all. Outwardly it would seem that if it were, but in fact there are many similarities. Yes, come in.
And what is the difficulty now? Nothing in the way of assassination, I hope.
Oh no, nothing in that nature. The fact is, the business is very simple. Very simple indeed. I have no doubt that we can manage it ourselves. But I thought Mr. Dupin would like to hear the details because it is so odd. So very odd.
Simple and odd.
Why yes, and not exactly. The fact is, we have all been puzzled because the affair is so simple, yet it baffles us altogether.
Perhaps it is the very simplicity that puts you at fault.
What nonsense you talk.
Perhaps the mystery is a little too plain.
Oh good heavens, whoever heard of such an idea?
A little too self-evident.
Oh Dupin, you'll be the death of me again.
And what, after all, is the matter at hand?
I will tell you, but first, let me caution you that this is an affair of the greatest secrecy. I should probably lose my position if it were known I confided it to anyone.
Proceed.
Or not.
Well then, I have received personal information from a very high quarter that a certain document has been purloined from the royal apartments. The individual who purloined it is known. This is beyond doubt who has seen it take it. It is also known that it is still in his possession.
And how is this known?
From certain events not happening. The robber must not have employed its knowledge.
Be a little more explicit.
The letter gives its holder such power, and were such orders where such power is immensely valuable.
Still, I do not quite understand.
No? Well, the disclosure of the document to a third person, who shall be nameless, would bring question to the honor of a person in a most exalted station. This fact gives the holder of the document power over that person.
What are you talking about?
Let me demonstrate. The letter had been received in the royal boudoir while Madame was reading it. The entrance of His Highness interrupted her. The very person from whom she had to hide this letter. She put it back in its envelope and thrust it on the table. At this time, in comes the Prime Minister. He sees the letter, recognizes the handwriting, sees that Madame is distraught, and instantly fathoms her secret. He conducts some ordinary business with His Highness, talks about affairs of state, talks about problems of the common people. Then he proceeds to pull out a letter of his own. He pretends to read it. Then he thrusts it down on the table next to Madame's letter. Then for some time he converses upon public affairs. As he takes his leave, he picks up a letter from the table. But it is Madame's letter, leaving his own insignificant letter on the table.
So she knows he has it.
Yes, and the power tank has been looted for some months, for political purposes and to a dangerous extent. She needs the letter back, but because of its contents, she cannot ask for it openly. Alas, she has committed the matter of reclaiming the letter to me.
No more sagacious an agent could be desired or imagined.
You flatter me, but that could be true. My first care was to make a thorough search of the minister's hotel. As you know, as prefect, I have keys to fit any chamber and cabinet in Paris. I fancy I've investigated every nook and cranny of his premises.
Is it possible it is not on his premises?
No. The instant availability of the letter is a point nearly equal to its possession.
And the chance of it being on his person is considered as out of the question?
Entirely. He has twice been waylaid and his person rigidly searched under my supervision.
I presume the minister is not altogether a fool and would have anticipated these searches.
Suppose you detail the particulars of your search.
We took the entire building, room by room. We examined every drawer, and I presume you know that to a trained police agent, such a thing as a secret drawer is impossible. We checked out the cabinets. We probed the cushions on the chairs with fine long needles, for a letter could be concealed in one of the legs. We removed the tabletops and surrounded by cotton so the leg did not sound hollow. We examined the drawings of every chair in the hotel. We examined every joist by the aid of the most powerful lenses. There was no disorder in any of the gluing.
I presume you checked the mirrors, between the boards, the beds, the bedclothes, the curtains, and the carpets?
Of course! The curtains, the carpets, every piece of floorboard beneath the carpets, every particle of every piece of furniture in the apartment, then the entire hotel itself, then the two adjoining houses.
Ah! The adjoining houses. You must have had a great deal of trouble.
We had, but the reward for this is prodigious.
And you looked among the grounds about the houses?
All of the grounds. We examined the moss between the bricks. It was undisturbed.
And you looked among all of his papers and books, of course.
We opened every package. We not only looked through every book, but every page of every book.
The wallpaper?
Yes.
The basements?
Yes.
Well, then you've been making a miscalculation. The letter is not on the premises.
I fear you're right there. And now, Dupin, what would you advise me to do?
Well, to make a thorough research of the premises, of course.
Absolutely needless. As sure as a breed, the letter's not at the hotel.
Well, then I have no better advice to give you. Yes, come in.
Well, Prefect, what of the purloined letter? Have you given up?
Confound that man. I made the re-examination as Monsieur Dupin suggested, but all was like lost, as I knew it would be.
Then how much was the reward?
Why, a very great deal. A very liberal reward. I don't like saying how much precisely, but I will say that I wouldn't mind giving my own check for 50,000 francs to anyone to obtain that letter. The fact is, the reward has lately been doubled. If it were trebled, however, I could do no more than I've done.
In that case, Prefect, you might as well write a check for the amount you mentioned. When you've signed it, I will hand you the letter. The Parisian police are exceedingly able in their way, so far as their labors extend, of course.
So far as their labors extend?
Why, yes. Had the letter been within range of their search, then I have no doubt that these fellows would have, beyond question, found the letter. But one must attempt to think the same way one's opponent thinks. Had the minister been of merely an analytical mind, then I have no doubt the prefect would have discovered the letter.
Ah, but the minister is not just a mathematician. He is a poet.
Indeed. And he knows he can never hide the letter in a secret drawer or a hollow table leg, so he left it in plain sight on his desk. It never occurred to the prefect that the minister would do such a thing.
But still, he would have seen it.
No, he saw it. He did not know he saw it. I took occasion to call upon the minister. I recognized the letter immediately. See, he had taken the original envelope, turned it inside out, then readdressed it. I conversed with him a while longer, then I took my leave, leaving behind my snuff box. The next day, I called upon him again to retrieve my snuff box. This time, when he wasn't looking, I substituted my own copy of the letter for the purloined one. I conversed with him a while longer, then I took my leave.
But what purpose did you have in substituting the letter with the facsimile? Why didn't you just take the letter and go?
The minister's a desperate man, and his hotel is not without his attendants. Had I done as you suggest, I would not have made it out of the hotel lobby before his men could have nabbed me. But you see, I had another reason. For months, the minister has had the lady in his power. Now she has him in hers. For not knowing that he's no longer in possession of the letter, he will continue as if he were. The time will come, when he is rebuked, where he will open the letter in public, committing himself to his political destruction. The minister will learn that it is far more easy to climb the mountain than it is to descend it.